the lecture and exam timetables. This to make up for the days of learning which were lost due to the demonstrations. Ongoing student protests have disrupted the universities. Wits has committed to leaving tuition and accommodation fees unchanged for next year. The university also promises to take no disciplinary action against protesting students. Wits management has also committed to re-looking at the practice of outsourcing workers, which students have called an end for. For the latest and an update on the situation at Wits, we speak to Professor Adam Habib, the vice-chancellor of Wits University. Professor, a very, very good morning to you. Now, I know you deliberated with students for hours yesterday. Tell us more about the meeting and what was discussed.
So we put forward to the students a 9-point plan which summarized much of what you just indicated in your brief. The fact that there will be a 0% increase, we will reorganize the academic and examination timetables, that we will look and establish a commission with tight time frames to assist in and address the issue of outsourcing, all of those kinds of things. We'll address the upfront fee and the increase in the upfront fee, etc. Those things were done. The students obviously had a long conversation on those matters, and then we were told that they will come back to us. In the evening, we received a briefing from both the SRCs, the outgoing SRC and the incoming SRC, saying that they would like to resume lectures on Wednesday morning and had made a series of commitments in this regard. And obviously, we will work with them to iron out the formalities and the details in that regard.
Except the proposed 2016 fee increase, what other grievances were actually discussed?
So the 2016 fee increases, they were worried about the examination timetable. They were worried about, and they did raise as part of the demands, no disciplinary hearings against protesters. Both of those were addressed. They did raise the issue of outsourcing, and we've established, as I said, a task team under the chairpersonship of council, assisted by a FINCO with representatives from all the stakeholders, to look at it, to do the costing, to understand how to address this challenge, and to put in place a series of mechanisms to do that. There were one or two other things that we've been able to do effectively. The upfront fee was requested, and they wanted no increase in the upfront fee. That is something that we've done. We've done all of the kinds of things and addressed all of the kinds of issues that they had been engaging us over the last couple of days.
Yeah. What was the agreement now? Just talk us through this between the university and the students.
Sorry, what is the agreement?
Yeah, the actual agreement between the university and the students now.
So the actual agreement is that tomorrow the lectures will start.
Okay.
We will get the lecture period start. Tomorrow we'll have a Senate meeting, hopefully. We will call at the Senate meeting for any for a revision of the timetable for the academic program. We'll revise the examination timetable, and then hopefully students will proceed with finishing the examinations. In the meantime, what we'll do is we'll establish the other mechanisms that are required to make sure that we address the other things like outsourcing, etc.
We heard that there are going to be no fee increases for 2016. This, of course, was the big announcement. And, we just had a conversation with a lot of the students that are from some of the representative organizations, and they worry about the years going forward, and that they want a plan of free education for all. Is this possible?
I think it is possible. The big issue is how we do it. What was decided on the Friday meeting is two separate issues. One was the 0% for 2016, but the president also announced that he was extending the mandate of the presidential task team to investigate what happens in 2017, 2018, 2019, etc. So clearly, we do and need a fundamental revision of how we fund universities and what is the relationship between subsidy and student fees in the funding of universities. We welcome that. We think it's long overdue. We need to actually have this conversation. I do think that we're going to have to phase it in. I do think that we have to start ensuring that we provide free education for the students in need. Because that's the really group of students who are really need to break into higher education and that's the only way we can begin to address inequality in our society. And that's something that we're quite keen on, and we will work with all role players and stakeholders to actually achieve that. And then gradually, I think we're going to have to extend that to the entire system. But I do think that it's possible to start, and I think there's a commitment from all stakeholders to begin that process.
It started out as a rather personal attack on yourself. When you look at the class of 2015 as these students, what have been your views? I mean, how are you feeling at a time like this?
Well, at one level, these kind of things happen, frankly. If you're actually engaging in social struggle, there is a need to personalize it at some level to kind of make it reach people's, make it achieve the kinds of objectives that it needs to achieve. I understand that. I mean, in a lot of ways, it's been an emotional coaster ride for the last week. I must say I learned a lot from the students. Frankly, if you asked me 10 days ago, was it possible to get the state to agree to 0% increase for 2016, I would have said no. I think I've learned an enormous amount, the perseverance of students, effectively the openness, the power of social action. All of that was brought to the fore in the last 10 days. And I think that there's it was a big learning curve for all of us, for not only me, but for vice-chancellors across the country. As for 2015, it was a learning curve, and I think we must all use it as an opportunity to learn from and build on.
All right, let's leave it there. The Vice-Chancellor of the University of the Witwatersrand, Adam Habib, speaking to us on the line. Thank you very much for your time. Now, let's